Well, Workington Town announced a new signing last week, a young man from Seaton Rangers, Jaiden Tallantire, and he was thrown right into the senior team with a game against Rochdale Hornets on Sunday, and he emerged from that with well, he got a trophy after the game, and he also got awarded the man of the match in the Rugby League Express. I've got Jaiden with me now. Jaiden, that would be a fantastic moment when you got your reward after the game.
Yeah, it definitely was. In all honesty, the game went better than what I expected. So I was sitting in the change rooms after the game, ready to get in the shower, and they called into the VIP, and then they announced that I got the champagne moment. And I was obviously delighted with that award. I felt like I had a good performance, and to kind of get the the recognition of the people who watched the game, it was very rewarding, and I was very pleased to get that.
Yeah. Now, tell me about the champagne moment. Was it, because I think you created a try, was it for a bit of a sleight of hand that created that try, or was it for your actual try?
No, yeah, it was for the assist for the try just before half time. Obviously, we were 6-0 down with a minute to go. I kind of created something to get us into the half time at six apiece.
And what about your try? Tell me about your try.
So, yeah, we were losing late on, so we kind of started throwing everything we had at them. And then we went down the left edge, and Evan Lawther, big centre, made a great break, and it was just a power play, ball back on the inside. And yeah, I was delighted to get over the line in my debut, and it was something that I kind of imagined doing before the game, but I didn't actually think would happen. So then when it happened, I was delighted for that to happen. It was just unfortunate that we couldn't get the result on top of that.
Yeah, you couldn't get the result. There was a bit of a controversial finish. Did you get a view of that, was whether you had scored or you hadn't scored?
Yeah, I kind of seen it from the back. The referee did make the right call. It was a knock on. It was a bit of an obstructive view, so it was a good call by the referee. But obviously, at the time, we were all gutted that we
Yeah,
didn't get the win.
yeah, but you'd be gutted that it wasn't one to count really. When were you aware that after you'd signed that you were going to be playing on Sunday?
Uh, yeah, it was after the Midlands game when after Town had went to Midlands away. Tanner Featherstone, the winger, picked up a head knock, so he was ruled out due to a head injury. And
Yeah, yeah.
with Town being short and troops coming to the back end of the season, a lot of niggles. Johnny gave us a ring on the bus, and kind of told us that I would be playing on the weekend against Rochdale. Asked if I would play, and I said yeah. When I got off the phone, my nerves kind of went through the roof. It was something that I didn't expect at all. So throughout the week, kind of had a bit of early nerves, and then once I got going in the game, caught the first ball, took my first carry, I kind of relaxed, and it all kind of worked out from there.
Yeah, and I'll take it the guys would in the dressing room were great with you beforehand, giving you the confidence that you needed.
Yeah, definitely. They all are good lads. It's something for an 18-year-old to come and step into the team, and the way they all took it and kind of give us the confidence that I needed was great. I had a message off Callum Phillips before the game. He gave us a WhatsApp message just to, wish us luck and just kind of calmed us down. And, I felt like he didn't need to do that, but he did do that. And I was very appreciative of that.
Yeah, and when was your previous game? Was it for Seaton Rangers, the previous game, when you last played?
Yeah, I played the week before. We played against Ulverston away. We got the win there. We won
You
by
got a
10
win, yeah,
points.
that was good, yeah. Because it's been a bit of
Yeah.
a rough season, in and out, and Neil's been struggling for players on a lot of times, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's kind of been a contrast to last season, but as much as we can say it's been a tough season, it's kind of been rewarding for the club. As we had a good year last year. We won a couple of trophies, and I think four of our lads got a contract at Whitehaven because of that.
Yeah,
Ellis
yeah.
Nixon re-signed, and a few of us signed on. So as much as we have struggled as a club, it's also good for the club to see how many of our lads are taking that step up into the semi-pro game and showing that Seaton are a good club to feed into these semi-pro clubs in Cumbria and, step up to it and play well. So it's a
Uh,
credit to the club, I think.
Absolutely. Now, Neil Fraser's your coach at Seaton. He's now at Whitehaven, but I would imagine he'd have liked to take it to Whitehaven. But are you a town man through and through from your early days?
Yeah, I'm a Seaton lad, I'm a work-etting lad, and I've always kind of had that belief in play where you're from if you get the opportunity. So I've been training with Town for about 18 months now, I'd say, and
Yeah.
when Johnny told us he wanted to sign us, it was a great moment for me. I felt like it's the hard work paying off for myself, and to have that opportunity to represent the club. And, before I played on Sunday, I hadn't missed a home game all season. I go and watch every game.
Yep.
So to be able to kind of step on the pitch and have a go and do it, it was fantastic. I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. When did you start playing? Were you very young when you started?
Yeah, I've played rugby all my life. I'm one of them lads who's lived it and breathed it, and I've always loved it. I've played for Seaton my entire youth, and obviously had a couple of steps around. I had a bit of time in the Hull FC scholarship system, and then the last couple of years I've been with the England Community Lions alongside that. So yeah, I've been involved in rugby my whole life, really, ever since I was a kid.
And that's where you started with Seaton.
Yeah, I've always been at Seaton throughout my entire youth.
Any rugby in the family, from in the past?
No, not really, to be honest. I'm kind of the first to kind of step up and play in this semi-pro. So I've always said I don't really know where I get the rugby from in us, but I think I've just kind of always loved the game. And when you love doing something, it makes playing it all that better and enjoyable.
Yeah. Tell me about the Community Lions. What was that? Was it European Championship?
Yeah, it was the under-19s European Championship over in the French Pyrenees. So we went there. I think there was 10 Cumbrians in the squad, I think. So it was a good knock from the shots. And yeah, we had a great. It was 9 days. We played 3 games. We beat Ukraine fairly easy in the first game. Then we played Wales in the second game. We were down at half time. We came back. That was great. But we unfortunately got beat quite handy by the French in the final in the last game. But overall, over the 9 days, the lads, we had an absolute blast. I made a couple of friends for life, and just the opportunity to kind of do that sort of thing. It's something that you shouldn't take for granted, and it's definitely something I'll be able to talk about in the future.
And did you play in all 3 games?
Yeah, I did. I played the first game and the second game, and then in the third game, I think it was about 10 minutes in the second half. I had to come off with a head knock. I was classed as category 1 by the French doctors. So unfortunately, when I came back, I missed the first 2 games for Seaton when I came back. So from coming back from the tour, I only played against Ulverston before stepping up and playing for Town.
They'll be pretty tough, were they, the French?
Yeah, they definitely were. That was their professional side. So I think they had about 7 lads at Catalans and 6 at Toulouse. So they were really serious sides. I think we held on with them for about half an hour. And I think their strength and their fitness from being full-time athletes kind of knocked us over and caught us by surprise.
Mm-hmm. Now then, this week you've got Widnes. That'll be a delight to play there, I'm sure.
Yeah, obviously, if selected, I'll be excited to play. Widnes are a top championship side, so it will be tough, especially on their pitch, a 4G surface. It'll be very fast. So, like I say, it'll probably be another step up for me, but it's something that I feel like I'm ready for, and I am really excited to hopefully pull on the Town jersey again and give it my all.
Yeah, and you'll have noticed the last game of the season, Whitehaven at home, and you'll be playing against some of your former teammates, presumably.
Yeah, obviously, if I'm playing and they're all playing, it'll be pretty. I think it'll be pretty mental. Only this time last October, we were all lifting trophies together, having a great night and having a great laugh, and best of friends. But obviously, if I'm playing and they're playing against them in 2 weeks' time, so obviously we'll be enemies and rivals for 80 minutes, Gus included as well. But no, it's all good. They're all very good lads, and I think they're all great players, and to have the opportunity to play against them, I think it'll be great.
Smashing. Jaiden, thanks very much for your time, and wish you all the very best for Sunday and for the rest of your career.
No worries. Thank you a lot. I appreciate it.